They look at the door. They bust it down, breaking into various rooms in the building. Once getting to the bottom level of the mountain, William and Charlie walk down the stairs of Mount Healthy and see a giant door. They kick through the door. Standing in the giant laboratory was hundreds of people, doctors, military, and all of the world's strongest people and smartest. At that moment, William unsheathes his katana, Charlie raises his AK-47, and the group of survivors get in a standoff with what is now the largest surviving population of the world at this time in history. William and Liza, side by side, guns drawn. We were sent by Fort Knox to report here. The man who seemed to be in charge of the room of burly men came from out of the back of the room. Although William couldn't hear him, he recognized the voice once it neared him. "I don't fucking believe it," William said. "How in the hell are you still alive?" he said. The room was confused. Then, coming from behind one of his Secret Service members, was Donald J. Trump. He walked up to William and shook his hand. They went into a different room to talk privately. "Tell me what you know," Trump said. "I was sent to inquire about the cure," William says to Donald. Grabbing a glass of rum and filled a shot of whiskey right down the hatch. "You know why I love bourbon?" the president asked. "No, sir." "Why?" William asked. "Because it only burns for a little, and then one day it goes away," Trump said. William saw an image of Rico's explosion flash back deep in his mind. "But once it's done, you feel a lot better," he said. William looked at the president. Clearly he was struggling with something. "William, I don't know how to ask you this, and I could never ask this for my greatest lieutenants." He offered William a shot. "I'm only 20. The president chuckled. There are no rules at the end of the world. The two continued to drink and talk. Walking out of the room and passing his group, they were very confused. Getting into the car, now with Liza in the front, riding with William, and Julie, I guess, who is a new character that was with Liza. Guess I forgot to mention her when I was writing it. Sitting in the back with Rico. The red car continued down the road. "What did you guys talk about?" Liza asked. He was silent. They continued down the road. She then put her hand on his shoulder. "Whatever it is, we can handle it." He looked at her and shook his head. Turning, seeing Rico and Julie passed out in the back seat. "He asked me to take something to the White House. Told me he'd meet me there," William said. "I'm not focused on that right now. We just need to get somewhere safe before daybreak to talk things out with the group," he said. She looked in the rearview mirror, seeing the headlights of their friends behind them, and the survivors continued down the road. To be continued. After driving for a while, William woke up and looked at the window. He could see the tally marks marking the days that he had been on the road by drawing in the fog of the window. They had been on the road for weeks now, the group getting tired of being on the road. Liza looked at William. "I can't stand being on the road all the time." As she said that, a tire popped underneath of the car, and the car swerved into a group of wasters. At this point, they had driven and ended up in Nebraska. They get out in Valentine, Nebraska. The group did not think that for the next 5 years this is where they would call home. William got out of the car and stretched. They literally walked into the small town of Valentine. Walking down the streets of the houses seemed abandoned. They started to search the ruins for any supplies or other survivors. Searching the small town, William and Liza and Rico take the first one. Charles, Oliver, and Vanessa search the second house. And I'm guessing, I don't know what the fuck Julie's doing, but I guess we'll figure that out in the next installment, guys. You guys stay safe. I hope that you guys enjoy this one.